The Office of Civil Defense is partnering with motorcycle taxi provider Angkas for emergency response during calamities. The OCD has signed an agreement with Angkas designating them as first responders during calamities. The team-up aims to establish an advanced delivery system for transporting essential goods and expediting emergency responses in Metro Manila and Cebu. Angkas will recruit 100 partner bikers to serve in the OCD's rescue operations. Let's talk more about this initiative with Angkas CEO and co-founder George Royeca. George, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. George, I think you're on mute.
Good morning, Diego. Thanks for having me.
There you go. George, just to clarify, 100 partner riders for both Metro Manila and Cebu or 100 for each?
So this is just initial, no?
Yeah.
Of course, because they will have to go through training with the Office of Civil Defense.
Okay.
So we plan to expand this beyond the 100. So the 100 is just the initial salvo.
Okay. And what can we expect from the training and what's the scope of Angkas's responsibility?
So Angkas, informally throughout the years has already been participating in some of the first responders in emergency and emergency situations and calamity, particularly the Taal volcano, and we sent out goods in response to the eruption. So this is just kind of formalizing it in terms of logistics, but also being first responder, and if it needed, stabilizing some of the victims, in areas where the calamities happen.
You said this is formalizing it. So do you already have trained bikers and will you have additional compensation for these riders?
So we already have trained bikers, but not with the Office of Civil Defense.
Okay.
They're trained with Red Cross. They're trained with 911 Filipinas. They're trained for first responder. This one kind of elevates it to also be part of the logistics and distribution. There will be, right now this is a volunteer system. A lot of our bikers volunteer or are already existing volunteers with the Red Cross. But definitely there will be compensation where it is necessary.
You said this is volunteers, right? But do you have a certain qualification as to who can be part of this training program?
Yes, we have a very extensive internal training program and skills assessment for our bikers in pillioning a passenger. So this is part of our skills assessment where we get our top bikers who want to volunteer and provide them these additional trainings.
Okay. But do you have any plans to expand this rescue initiative in the future, like training more riders?
That's the idea. If we can train all of our bikers to be first responders, that will be the goal.
Okay. And we're nearing the holidays and we'd just like to ask, kamusta naman ang operations these days? Do you see any significant growth in ridership?
For sure. I mean, the holidays is always busy for both logistics and transportation. It's getting busier and busier in the streets. I think everybody in Metro Manila is feeling a little bit of the congestion and the traffic. So that means a lot more rides for us that we need to service for Metro Manila.
What challenges does your group face in terms of growth? I mean, this wet season, it's raining, the traffic. So what are the challenges you guys face?
Rain is really one of our biggest challenges. I mean, obviously, we're vulnerable to weather. And when that happens, we just need to slow down in terms of our service, depending also on the gravity of the rain. So that's always been an issue for us. But we do provide raincoats when the rain is not so heavy, and we can still continue on with our service.
Okay, are you likely to meet your growth targets for this year?
Yes.
Okay, and let's talk more about the use of artificial intelligence in the transport sector. Now, how do you think this will benefit your operations?
So I think artificial intelligence allows for really analyzing and implementing and executing some of the customer support services, these tasks that are repetitive. So imagine a chatbot that is a little bit more intelligent.
Yes.
This is something that we definitely look forward to. Also, repetitive tasks can now be batched so that they are more efficient. So we are always using ML, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, even our backend system today. So it's just a matter of now kind of expanding that to the consumer side. But we've been using it for a while now.
And of course, your user base is growing. So what other developments can the riding public expect from Angkas next year? Can you tell us more about your growth outlook for next year?
So I think for us, it's really building the driver ecosystem. We're here to, our main mission is to legitimize that informal sector, where we focus on motorcycle drivers. By legitimizing this informal sector, we need to expand this base to provide them things like humane credit, right? Insurance, expanded insurance for health to their families, and other benefits. Right now, we just partner with Pag-ibig, so they can now be part of the Pag-ibig fund and are able to eventually loan for a house. So our dream is really to make sure that we empower that sector and make them part of the formal system. And I think we're quite successful in terms of our initiatives that we've launched in 2022, and we look forward to a very strong 2023 and really expand this to more than just our existing bikers, but give these benefits to more bikers, millions of bikers nationwide.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Angkas CEO and co-founder George Royeca.